Hello, and welcome to the Fit Minute Podcast, where we talk about fitness for real people. My name's Gabby Mazar, and I am your host. And on today's episode, we're talking with one of my corporate boot camp clients and how corporate boot camps have helped him to lose weight, change his lifestyle, and just be overall healthy. I can't wait to get started, so let's chat with him. Welcome to the Fit Minute Podcast, Fitness for Real People. This is your host, Gabby Mazar, and I am here with Alex Carbajal.
Hello.
This is episode 3. Today we'll be talking about corporate boot camps. Alex has a gaming podcast that we're going to touch on a little bit. And we're going to start by actually opening up some mimosas. So if you want to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, obviously fitness for real people, lifestyle. So today we're going to have a little bit of a treat because this is about real life.
And I'm worth it.
And Alex is totally worth it.
And you're worth it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like I'm worth it sometimes.
You know what's weird? So this microphone's way better than mine for our podcast. I almost feel like I'm on like an ASMR podcast. Like I need to be like whispering and
You should be whispering.
letting people know that I'm here.
I was watching Frasier the other night, and now it just made me think of Frasier, and it makes me laugh.
Did they do an ASMR segment in Frasier?
No, actually, they had he had somebody subbing for Roz, and she was really outspoken and loud, and he hated it.
Oh.
It was pretty funny.
Can't you be quiet?
Yeah, and he couldn't tell her to stop talking. He felt bad.
All right, let me
Ready?
open it up.
Okay, be careful.
I'll put it away from the mic. Almost got it. I got it.
Slow.
It's cool. It's cool. Got it.
All right.
Nailed it.
Okay, so Alex, I want to start by talking just a little bit about gaming and how you fit fitness into your gaming lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, I used to not
Right.
at all. I used to pretty much just like not ever fit it because I made it's like 8 o'clock at night and I could go out for a run, but I'm not going to. I can just go and play a game.
Yeah.
But like eventually you get to the point where it's like maybe I need to like do something. I'm not the person I used to be when when you get a little older,
Oh, yes,
your
I
body
know.
just kind of
A little bit older. You're so
Not-
old.
okay. Well, I mean, even then, like I'm not old, but it gets a little worse.
Right. So your company actually pays me to coach you guys. You come in 4 times a week, right?
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about, like, before you started working with your company, you had started to lose a little bit of weight before then?
Before I started working with my company, not really, because I worked at like a sandwich shop,
Oh,
and
Okay.
I would eat like a sandwich every single day, which is
a sandwich, one.
well, I mean at work, and then whatever else. But like, I was really more on the up and up, I guess, on my weight. And then for like, I guess even when I started working, like I would kind of go casually to your workats,
Right.
And then
I made you feel really guilty.
no, even
No.
then like I it was offered for free, I guess, for our work. I mean,
Right.
obviously they could pay you, but
Right.
it's like I might as well go. It's kind of what it was, but it was like, I'm kind of tired today. I don't really feel like it. And then like when you're just sitting in an office all day,
Right.
you really start gaining weight really fast. Like at least at the sandwich shop, I was like on my feet all day
Yeah.
and like walking around. But it was like, sorry, it's fun actually hearing
I think it's so
the sound when I'm like pouring. Yeah, when you're actually like on an office
Right.
chair all day, you gain weight really fast.
Right.
So it's like, okay, this is not what I want, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I guess if I were, relating it to gaming, you're playing like all these cool games where your characters like do like backflips just for fun, or like will like run around, do all these things. It's like you want to at least kind of be like, I guess if you're trying to like emulate your character or whatever, like you're doing all these cool things, and then like in real life, I get tired running after 5 minutes or something. So it's like, okay, maybe I should try to be a little cool, like these cool gaming characters. But
I guess, yeah.
yeah, so I guess it was really cool. I feel like a lot of I don't know if a lot of other offices offer that sort of thing where you get like a group company workout.
Cheers, Alex.
Thanks. Cheers.
Thank goodness they had wine or champagne flutes here.
Yeah, I was concerned.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh my god, I didn't buy.
I
was gonna do solo cups, but
yeah.
I guess it'd be a lot of
solo
solo cups for just these two.
Right.
Because you can't just buy 2 solo cups.
You cannot buy 2 solo cups.
As far as I know.
So, tell me a little bit. Like when you first started working out, you said you were coming like just randomly, and
Yeah.
I obviously remember this because I was there. But what really kind of changed in you that you were like, I really need to start to lose weight?
So when I was first started at my job, I was, in like a longer term relationship, and like, also in relationships, you really let yourself go sometimes.
Okay.
Not you specifically, but people.
I mean, I get it. I get it for sure.
But then it's like, after like that ended, it was just like, wow, I am not happy with myself, and I'm almost like, I guess as someone who plays a lot of games, I'm really competitive too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I want to win the breakup. I
Right.
want to get back in shape and be that person who I sort of recognize again. So that's sort of like what helps drive me personally, is that competitiveness.
Okay.
Almost. So it's like I wanted to like make sure I stick with it. I need something to like really have like a goal. I'm very goal oriented. I need to go for something.
Right.
So like I'll hit this target weight or whatever, and then afterwards I kind of fall off pretty easily is my other problem.
But you consistently come like 3 to 4 times a week, and pretty much, how long has it been now? 'Cause at least a couple years.
Yeah. Well, I've worked. So I guess when I first started really coming, which was like almost a year into me working there. So I guess it's been like 3 years since I've been really consistently coming.
That's impressive. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was doing really well up until like this past couple of months.
Well,
but,
I mean, you've still been coming. It's not like you haven't been coming, but understandably, the person that you work closest with is on maternity leave.
Exactly.
So, but you still make an effort. So
I
that's
put an effort in.
Pretty cool. Okay, so how much did you lose initially? Like, you lost some pretty good weight. I've got some before and afters. I don't know if you want me to post them.
No, yeah, you can post them. So even like, I guess when we had our weigh in, like I got even higher than our highest weigh in.
Right.
Because I wasn't coming very consistently and
Right.
weighing in. So I was at like 225, and then for like my height, that's like really bad because I'm only 5'8".
Really? You were at 225? I do not remember that.
Yeah, well, because I wasn't coming in.
But, that's true.
Yeah. And then my lowest drop point was to 180.
That's 180. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what is that, like 45 or something?
Yeah, about. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Something like that.
But you have also put on a lot of muscle.
That's true.
I mean, I remember when you first started coming in and you kept telling me how you couldn't do things, and I kept telling you to try.
I mean, it's not like I wasn't trying. I just really didn't think I could. And then it was like, oh, this is a lot easier than I expected.
Yeah, and now you can lift a lot heavier and bench a lot heavier and squat a lot heavier, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. I feel like I could do pretty well, but at the same time, it's really, so, we're in like corporate workouts, so like anyone can come who works there. And it gets really frustrating for me personally, where it's like someone who just shows up lifts almost as much as I can. I'm like, okay, pal. So now I have to like do way more. It's really frustrating.
That does not happen very often, though.
But it kind of does sometimes. We have some people who are just naturally more like athletic and stuff, or at least
like
maybe they were at a better starting point than I was too.
Well, people probably have worked out a little bit beforehand. I mean, you were pretty sedentary for.
Yeah, I mean, I did work out like in high school, but then it's like that's the last time I worked out up
Right.
until I worked here.
Right.
But I was doing pretty well when I worked out in high school, because I played tennis. I guess I was like, I played sports.
Hey, I played volleyball. I mean,
Yeah, I would have played
It's not
volleyball.
like football or hockey, but whatever.
Well, I
It's
did
still
play
a sport.
football my freshman year, but then I dislocated my shoulder, and I was like, this isn't for me. I also puked a lot too. Like it was really hot. Like I don't know why people would want to do that.
Have you ever almost puked in one of my workouts?
Oh, the first time,
Oh.
the first workout, I think we had to like run a mile, and I was like, I'm gonna puke. I think that was the only time though. But literally, I don't know if you remember. I think I was like laying on the ground after the run.
No, I don't remember.
It's been a while, but it
don't
was kind of
remember.
sad. And we had this guy at our work who his name was Rick. I don't know if you remember him.
I remember.
He's like
Rick.
this huge.
I
Like,
miss
he's
Rick.
got this
I like
giant
Rick.
arms, and he's like, "Come on, bud, let's run." And then he's like, "Oh, maybe you shouldn't run. This is a
That's
bad
funny.
idea."
So you feel like having this corporate boot camp really has been a huge benefit to you.
Oh yeah, I mean, for one, it's free, like for me.
Yeah, right.
And like, I might as well go. Like, I'm already at work.
Right.
I might as well just go work out.
Yeah, and you have like the camaraderie of everybody that you work with too that goes and
I don't know actually. For a little bit, it was like we would do on like Fridays and like no one would show up on Fridays.
that's true.
I kind of liked those individual workouts a little bit better, but at the same time, it was like it is nice. It's fun when you're seeing these people who don't go, and you're like, I guess there's like a lot of people I don't talk to at work.
Yeah.
Who I get to talk to.
Well, there's different departments too. You got people in the warehouse, and then you guys, and then different teams. So
Right, and then like our specific department is
small.
it's small and it's isolated.
Right.
So it's like nice at least interacting with new people,
Right.
but a lot of them are actually at that workout too. So
So tell me what kind of diets and stuff I've put you on, and what
Oh.
horrible things I make you do.
well, the first one I did, I guess, when I was doing my bigger loss wasn't really as strict as some of the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was really more of like, hey, like don't eat out, and then like meal prep is basically all you had to do. Is just like make sure you portion it out and do this, and like eat chicken, eat rice
Right.
or whatever.
Stop eating
like-
so many sandwiches.
Well, I love sandwiches. It's so hard.
I mean, sandwiches are delicious.
Yeah. But, it'd just be like simple things like, maybe eat like a lettuce wrap, or like if you're going to eat out, eat good. Like,
Better choices.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be simple things. And honestly, like that worked pretty well, at least at the point I was at.
Right.
But then, a couple months ago, I was going to a wedding, and you're like, okay, if you want to lose this weight really fast, this is what you should do. And
I
it was
put you
like-
on a pretty strict diet.
It was really strict.
Yeah.
It was like you had to count out.
I did not tell you it was going to be easy.
You said it was gonna be tough. You're like, are you sure? And I was like, I guess so. Like, I only have 2 months.
Yeah, but you did it.
Yeah,
And how
I
much
felt like
you lost?
um
Probably because you had gone up back up a little bit.
yeah, I was like bouncing back to like 190,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got back down to like 180.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like more cut at that time
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah,
I was like
yeah,
down
you
with
were.
it.
You were more cut.
Hmm.
Strong.
Yeah. So like I kind of want to do it again, to be honest.
Really?
Like I don't know. So my family and I meal prep just because we live like right down the street from each other.
Right.
So we just go and meal prep, and then so it's like my mom and my sister, and we're doing Weight Watchers right now, and I don't really like it that much.
You don't love Weight Watchers?
No, I don't know. I feel like it's almost like a tease. Like I can eat whatever I want as long as it's in my point count.
right.
And I guess I'd rather just like not do it at all. Like
Okay.
not eat bad at all.
To
or,
each their
except
own.
on
There
those
are
cheat
people
days.
that absolutely swear by Weight Watchers and think it's
No,
the
I mean
greatest
I
thing
believe
ever.
it. I just don't know if it was for me. Like I just feel a lot more temptation to eat bad on it, I guess. And it's like, well, I get like 40 or 50 extra spare points
Because you worked out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's also like, I think that's my other problem is like, so I'm in like a bowling league, and it's like a Vegas league, and it's like, well, I'm gonna be going out like drinking every Monday or whatever,
Right.
and like there's a lot of my points for
Right.
like the week right there.
For the whole week.
Yeah, I dip into that weekly bonus,
Right.
so it's
Bowling is kind of exercise.
light exercise.
It's movement.
I sweat a lot. I don't know if that's just related to
Uh,
the exercise.
I'm not sure that's related to
That
it,
might
but
just
you know,
be-
that's fine. So tell me a little bit like about just like your podcast and what you talk about, and
Yeah.
you don't have to relate it to exercise. I just want to kind of give you a little bit of a plug.
It's not related to exercise at all.
Not at all. You're sitting talking on a microphone like we are right now.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the reason like we started it is because I annoyed my coworkers a lot talking about video game stuff. I'd be like, there was this cool thing that happened in this game I played, and they're like, we don't care, Alex. Find someone who cares. And I was like, you know what, I will. The internet cares.
The internet does care.
Yeah. So like honestly, it's just like us talking about like these video games we want to talk about, and then that's about maybe half of it. Like it probably should be more of it, and then the rest of it is like me talking about my week and like the weird stuff that happens.
Oh.
Like I talk a lot about random stories in my life. Honestly, sometimes I realize I might have had a really weird childhood. I had a pet bowling ball at one point. His name was Stanley.
Stanley the bowling ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Most people have dogs. I had bunnies and some mice and hamsters.
We had a hamster.
Guinea
once.
pigs.
He couldn't fit in his tube.
Okay.
He was a little too
chubby.
He wasn't even chubby. It was like his manhood was too big to fit in the tube. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we talk about on my podcast.
Got it. Okay. I lost my train of thought with that one. Wait. Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about your podcast.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of the stuff we talk about. Right. Like, it's just, like, random stuff. Very unscripted. And then, like, we'll get other guests and we, like, when we have other people on, and we'll try to, like...
And tell me what it's called.
Oh, it's the Gazelle Hospital podcast.
Gazelle Hospital. You've told me 85 times.
I mean, in fairness, it has nothing to do with gaming, but it's also, like... we didn't want it to just be like any other gaming podcast. Like if it was like the Ultimate Gamer podcast, like that sounds like a lot, I don't know, generic.
Right. It's not fun.
Yeah, so we just honestly I'm really curious of the numbers of the people who might think it's like a medical podcast.
Right.
When it's actually not. I don't have those numbers, but it's really fascinating to me.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I really wanted to talk to you. I wanted to bring you on because I think you're a lot of fun. And
Thanks.
You're one of my favorite clients. Just don't tell anybody that.
I mean, we just told the podcast.
Oh, crap.
Don't tell everyone else.
Well, I always try to rope you into all these, like, crazy things, right?
Oh, it's so much fun. I love being roped into these things.
Oh, by the way, there's another paddleboarding thing I wanted to talk to you about later. But, so we've done what have we done? The goat yoga.
We did goat yoga. We did regular paddleboard, and then
regular
we did
paddleboarding, yeah.
the one on the Salt River.
Yeah, we did a late night paddleboarding, which neither of us can really see in the dark, but was still a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, no, it was fun, but I knocked someone over once.
Okay, yes, you did.
Like one time.
One time, it was fine.
She fell over on her own, so like it wasn't entirely my fault.
Right. But did you ever think that these would be things that you would be doing?
No. Maybe goat yoga, just because it was like a little trendy. But like, why would I go paddleboarding? Like,
did you think that you actually could paddleboard?
I didn't know exactly how hard it would be. Like, I'm not very athletic, so I guess I thought I could maybe do like that first one, but not the midnight Salt River one. That sounds like an advanced level.
But you did really good.
Yeah, I mean, my legs were dying at one point, but
your feet start to get a little tired.
And my thighs, you know, it's just like a lot of like you got to keep your legs spread out, and you're like kind of like almost squatting, but not really, but you're just balancing.
Right.
It's a lot. It's a lot more than I thought I would do. Like, I would just stay home and play video games.
But you
now,
don't anymore.
Now I have options.
I'm really proud that I entered your life, Alex.
Yeah. So now I have multiple things to do. I can go paddleboarding or play video games.
That's true. You can paddleboard. You could do yoga.
I could. I'm not very flexible yet.
But you did good. You did some really good poses. We've got pictures of that, too, with the goat on your back.
Yeah, that's true. I was able to do that thing where you're holding yourself up with your arms.
I don't know what that is.
Where, like,
crow pose.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Where your knees are on your elbows? Okay, yeah, crow pose.
I'm glad you figured it out. Because I didn't know how to describe this very well.
Yeah, I can't do it. We tried to do it last night.
And if you don't, if you remember, I was able to do that flagpole thing where you, like, hold yourself up sideways on a pole.
Okay, like Cirque du Soleil type stuff.
Yeah. See,
And you can climb a rope.
Oh yeah. Well, I feel like I've been able to do that for a while now.
Oh, I don't. Sure, I don't know.
If I can only do the flagpole on the rope.
Okay, we'll try. We'll try it. We'll see
what
happens.
Because then I could be like waving in the wind on the rope, but it'd be more exciting.
Right. Well, I don't know. I love your story, and I love that you've changed so much, and I love that I've seen your confidence change over the course of the past years. I mean, even like when a fellow trainer of mine, Kathy, was helping me out with you guys, and what did she have you do? She had you do something, ball slams, I think. And she made you go up 20 pounds.
She was like
box jumps, and she made you jump on higher boxes. And you're like, well, I don't know if I could do this. And then you did it. And then when I came back, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. Well, like, I guess the difference between you and Kathy is like, you were like believing in me and she's just like, do it. I was like, oh, okay. You're like encouraging. And I'm like, yeah, I think I can do it. I'm not sure if I'm ready this time. And Kathy's just like, do it.
Yeah.
And
that was
like,
great.
oh, okay.
I was
Kathy.
really happy about that.
Yeah.
I try to be a little more sensitive with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, some people need that push, I think, and some people need the sensitivity. It's, I think it's a client by client basis almost.
Right. Yeah.
But, every now, I think I did need that sensitivity when we first started, and I guess at this point, I just need someone to tell me to do things.
You're very confident. I'm very proud of you.
I mean, it took a while, obviously.
It did take me a while.
And once again, that's why it's frustrating where it's like, I've been there for years and some people are like already almost catching up to me.
I don't even know who you're talking about, but we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
But, well, so do you see like a huge difference in other people that you work with too? Do you feel like that?
Yeah. I think some people, I guess some of the people who've gone more recently, like they're not struggling nearly as much. Like they would always talk about how sore they are afterwards. And I'm like, are you going to go to workout today? And they're like, I don't know. But now they're, I can always expect them to go.
Yeah.
They'll just be like ready to go in. And it's like an actual part of their day. Yeah.
I know. I love that. It's like, it's so cool for me because I know that people don't always love to work out, especially when you're working in an office all day. And sometimes you guys work really long hours. Yeah. It's difficult to come, even if it's only 30 minutes and you guys walk to me. It's like, you know.
But it's like, I have a gym membership, and I don't know when the last time I actually went to the gym. Like I'm already at work. I might as well go work out. But then it's like when I'm on my way home and I'm in my free time, I'm like, I just want to go home and like not go to the gym.
But it's nice for you guys to have that extra motivation too. I mean,
there's like a lot of accountability because then like if you don't go, people are like, why weren't you at the workout yesterday?
Right.
And
I
you're
love
like,
that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, see, in my experience in the past, I've worked with people that if they don't pay for it on their own, they don't go. So I think kind of having it in a corporate style like that, it does give you, because everybody's like, you going today? Are you going today? And then you have me who's like, I'll see you tomorrow. And if I don't see you tomorrow, when you come next time, I'm like, where were you yesterday? So I really try to push you guys to be consistent. And I think in the consistency is where you see, I don't think I know, and the consistency is where you've seen the results, because we've done a couple of fitness challenges with your groups, and what happens? I mean,
people will show up. We've done 2 at my work since I've worked there. And like the first time, like there was a lot of people who showed up for the first 2 weeks, and then it kind of died down. But then actually, I think that's kind of when we started getting a lot more. Yeah. Like it'd be like me and like 2 other guys who would show up before that first fitness challenge. Yeah. And then we get a lot more consistency going then.
Yeah, we've had a few people that come a lot more and more consistently, I think, because of that, even if they weren't consistent in the challenge.
Right. They just were like, oh, right, I forgot I can do this. And then they're like, okay, let's go. Yeah. And then the second one, I think people were better. Like the people who don't normally go, like they were doing it for maybe like a month. And then like they at least did that. And then I think we got a couple more people who were like, oh, okay, I forgot that I can just go. It's not just for the fitness challenge. Yeah. I can go to the gym. I can go whenever. Yeah.
So when I run the fitness challenges, I was running them with Adam, who's now not there anymore. But he had lost a bunch of weight too. So I think his motivation for getting you guys fitter and healthier was there,
Yeah.
So he wanted to get more people, obviously, into the workouts. So I think that really worked. But what I don't like about fitness challenges is just that you come for a few weeks and then you start to get discouraged. But like I said, where you see the results is in the consistency and coming over and over and over again. And even if you're only coming 2 times a week, you're still making that effort to work out.
Yeah, I think with these like fitness challenges, like sometimes people will want more immediate results.
Right.
And I think that's for some of the people that's part of the problem, where they're like, okay, well, I didn't lose that much, so I'm just gonna stop. But then like a lot of times, I guess they don't realize like even a couple of pounds is a lot more than they realize too.
Right.
Like it doesn't seem like a lot, but they add up over time.
And I track your weight and everything too in one of my apps. So you can see where you've gone up and down, how much lean muscle mass you've gained, how much fat you've lost, and where you've been over the course of how long. I mean, obviously it's been 3 years to get to where you are at a pretty stable, healthy relationship with your weight, healthier relationship with food, just healthier in general, making better choices, which is something that, I don't know if you would have done. I know you said you were
I don't know if I would have either. I probably would have gone even higher than 225, to be honest, which would have been awful, but because it was not a good look for me. But I guess like now at least, I don't know, like I've kind of fluctuated a lot too, but
that's normal.
It's normal,
right?
And like I even though like I'm a higher weight than I was, like I'm not at 180 anymore, but like I'm still like I feel like I'm in pretty good shape still. Like I can still do a lot of push-ups. I can run a mile.
You can do a bunch of push-ups.
Yeah.
You can do a plank for a long time. You can do pull-ups.
Yeah, I can do pull-ups. I
can
can do them on the softballs. That softball pull-ups. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, where you're holding on to the hanging softballs. I cannot do that.
I like those ones. They're fun.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on my podcast today. I'll give a plug to your podcast and cheers.
Oh, I drank all mine.
Cheers to living healthy and still having fun while drinking a mimosa or two on a Saturday. So let me just take a sip.
Yeah. Should have poured another one. That was my mistake.
Well, you can stay after and have more if you want.
I might.
So thank you for listening, everyone. Hope to see you next week. And have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the Fit Minute Podcast, Fitness for Real People, with me, your host, Gabby Mazar. If you would like any more information on what we talked about today, you can find it in the show notes, or you can find it on my website, www.healthybodyworksaz.com. Please leave us a review if you like what you hear, or subscribe to our channel on iTunes or whatever platform you listen to. Join us next week to hear more stories about people just like you.